my question is, can they, I would say, overcome the high and momentum that some of these teams had coming in from yesterday itself from survival stage?
Right now, having the high is going to be Fluxo. We've been seeing from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
They've been highly in terms of their roaring noise that we've been looking forward to cheering for Fluxo W7M. Right as now, Solara has started off Team Apex Gaming and Lion. They fight it all at Eco Drain.
This is what we're talking about. Lion would be the greatest threat out of India right now because Team Apex Gaming is facing them in Eco Drain. And, well, it's a good thing that KD God does have elevation, does have information. But the only question, though, is who is going to push? Because Joker might have a good chance right now, but not a great weapon to use in those battles.
Here they come right now. Joker waiting in the wings. He's been good with these fights and managing to steal away one more, saving his teammate as well in that process. Still healthy as a four. The shots are good. And the Lions are going completely nuclear right now. 2 in the bag.
We spoke about them roaring and they are not stopping. Wolverine in trouble right now. Games King surrounding him, trying to take a trip down the pipe, but it's not going to work out. Joker is also on the other end. That's going to be 3 big eliminations. Eco Drain completely drained out of Team Apex Gaming.
But that one thing, and in spite of all the engagement that's happening, seems like KD God did manage to pull away, and he is going just into the studio. But on the other side, we're also seeing as a UL. Troll has been taken down, but Jack right now trying to defend themselves against Twisted Mind. But you know how twisted they can be. Nord is just ignoring them, and FB5 trying to eliminate.
It's just nasty how these shots are coming through here because Twisted Minds losing their players one by one. Bunny comes close, separated from Nord, but the crossfire is too much to deal with. The Baz also will fall next.
Twisted Minds, they tried to go for a challenge, it did not work out. SHUL Esports, we were talking about this. Their mentality of just going in for those hits, eliminations, that's all in front of their mind, not who they're challenging. And something similar, Buriram United Esports just ended up getting 4 eliminations, almost about to eliminate a whole squad, but that did not happen. But they also need their title. Husky was mentioning the one title that they need in their cabinet is EWC.
Oh, yeah, let's see, though, because they have been going for that, the hub drop, for so many times already when it comes to this map. And I was just surprised that someone is really challenging them. But going back to challenge, earlier it was Lion taking down Team Apex Gaming. Now it is Fluxo who's trying to beat them down. And there goes Joker, not really joking around, but let's see if they'll be able to fight back.
This area is so hot right now because on top of Fluxo, we also have AGL here too. Della barely alive, waiting in the wings, hoping that Fluxo will move away, but they have marked the heck out of him as well. A lot of pressure, a lot of util coming to him, and finally knocked down as well. There we go, Bobs will find him in the end, but AGL wants to challenge this phase.
Oh, here comes a new challenger, AGL right now, and this just looks like a good storyline because everyone is going into Eco Drain, and if you lose this, everything will go down the drain.
It will indeed. Fluxo, they want to make sure that they're the ones who are on top of this. They're the ones who pull that key lever and take AGL if possible. But AGL, they're quick on this. They're on the hills, see the slide rails, and decide to get out. They don't want this early engagement. We've been talking about AGL haven't found their title yet. They've been striving for it. They tried to get closer, but right now, it seemed like it was a distraction. He knocks the player, will try to get a confirmation, but right now Fluxo not giving it, but still he will secure Butsin's elimination.
It's nice seeing this duo was barely alive right now, managing to go for that reset, and they can just bide their time. Wasn't aware that Fluxo would be able to answer back, and they're looking good. Yeah, Butsin's out, but they're going to be able to bring him back. There you go, so quickly. The only team right now that is currently down and out, at least with only one player left, is Made in Brazil lost. And for the rest of the team, rotations could come in from a different side here, but I think for Fluxo, finding Dio might be key. Spots him out, sees him, but over on this side here, RRQ did cross paths with Yago and somehow survives. No, gets him in the end, and Lost wasn't able to survive for as long as he wanted.
You spoke too soon, Cash, and now RQ will be getting that 4 more elimination to their side. But there's another one that is just waiting in the shadows. It's Team Falcons right now. And this has been one of the rivalries that has been happening in Southeast Asia. But Team Falcons, you know how their signature is. They won't be going in carelessly. They want to get information out of teams right now. And even RQ might be able to be caught off guard. But they are just waiting. Look at the discipline out of Team Falcons.
Information's gotten. Mahal finds the opening. Keroro is done for. That is what RRQ want. A strong start. Nero's plushie being used. P9 trouble. Position revealed. He'll also be taken down. That's a pair. And more on fire. He tries to pull up the chrono, but for how long will he survive? Surrounded by 3 players from RRQ. And RRQ gets 7 total eliminations and trouble the reigning club champions.
How is this happening? When we saw the Falcons throughout the entirety of this week, they were the ones hunting, they were the ones taking up that space and winning, but now, silence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs silence right now. Though he doesn't have the stealth fights to pull away. Does have the Skylar, the Riptide Rhythm. But I'm surprised they didn't use that to at least save their teammates. Because they were covered in blue walls right there. And he does have an angle take when it comes to the snipe. But I guess priority is bring back the teammates. Once one goes and roaring right now against these two teams.
Jella has already found the opening. Diamond's down as well now. Joker gets that confirmation instantly, and whatever Twisted Mind state is all put to rest.
Both teams are left with one, RRQ and Twisted Mind, and that's when they need to move. Because even before that battle ended, the zone is already moved away from them. There's a lot of travesty that might be happening right now because there's still a lot of teams waiting into the next foe.
And speaking about waiting here, Buriram United, as usual, quiet in that early game. But somehow, they've already gotten 5 eliminations here. DAG waiting in the wings. They need to take this fight to be able to get... Sorry, they will take the fight to keep Buriram United away from their compound. Not happening quite yet. And now, Wasana with the sprays on top side. Bit of chip damage, but that's not more than that he can do.
Chrono being used by Team Apex Gaming. They will survive this, but there's Jonah and the shield gun peppering them one after another. Jonah gets a double as well as he puts two of the players down. Vasana wants the confirmation, is not letting them go. Along with Jonah, two players from Team Apex Gaming are put to rest, and Vasana wants to take this battle even closer.
Well, most people say don't chasing waterfalls, but Grimride is chasing them away from this area, and now they might be able to get in onto the next phase as
Jonah is looking unstoppable with his got 98 game. That is 9 total. United Esports, they will be able to put a rest to that aggression. And with that, we also see SAQL Esports getting eliminated. A lot of losses, one after another, as Solara has very less pace.
Yeah, not a lot of space, and everyone seems to have found a small part of that pie. But the Falcons, look at their positioning on the top of this building, and you've seen how much damage they can do with the snipers, with the long-range weapons, and most importantly, the ones on the bottom side here are going to have to compete for that space. Meanwhile, for Shoto in trouble, AGL putting that pressure onto him, and this guy has been the hero for this team, pulling them out from so many very, very dire situations. But in this situation, they can't do more than that! Because it's going to be Buram United steals away the point, and AGAL not a lot of space to work with.
AGL, they have just a bus to protect themselves, but on the other hand, Buriram, they have an entire compound. It seems like a farming land for themselves. 15 eliminations, this is game number 1. They're looking unstoppable. Riptide Rhythm, they want to break down AGL. Nothing's working. Flash freeze, Wraith being tossed, Riptide Rhythm.
what could have been done at that point for AGAL, but Real United was just waiting for it. It's just unfortunate that they lost two of their players.
So Dinoculars used as well. Gives away the game for so many of these teams, but Real United not down and out yet. Loud is here as Guacos will be the next victim. A little angle seen by Rasha wants to be abused. A double swing as well, making sure that no one survives the initial skirmish. And the Lions cannot survive longer. Down and out, 3 teams left. They have positions, they have the high ground angles, and it gives a lot of question marks for the rest of the teams for their rotations.
Well, as you say, first to the circle, first to the win. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it up. And God, not so much of contention. Even with a inhaler, he might not be able to survive. But he did manage to go for a clutch, a 1v2 in this fight. And now he has to deal with 2 players from Team Loud.
He got help from Loud. That is the reason Buriram United instantly shut down. But as you said, it is a 1v2. Look at him sneakily walking across, crouching, making shot. Loud have no idea, but BCP has spotted him. In God, SVD, can he connect the first? If he can bring it down to 1v1, it's better, but the information delayed. And as long as time passes, it is Loud that will surround him. And we know Nix, he's such a good player. And once he gets to the CQC, he will instantly put the player down.
He's rushing forward here right now. He's able to just go for the 1v1. It'll be really good. His shots go wide, but they're punching it from 2 different angles. The respect's given. And Loud makes sure they secure their first booyah of the day.
Team Loud. Loud Snickers are the loudest to start the free fire here at
And also Neptune. It's okay. I haven't forgotten you. Now, we are hearing right now that Loud is currently the team that is leading the pack, at least in terms of Booyah. But points-wise, though, it's still in favor of Buriram United. After But showcasing our skills on the second map when everyone's in momentum is gonna change.
Yeah, well, definitely it needs to change right now because from what we're seeing, they're already one third of what is needed right now to be able to activate that match point. But judging from where everyone is dropping for the flight path that we have, and you know for a fact that this is my favorite map, the skew flight path or somewhat skew flight path that we've seen might have forced the team to go in for those hot drops. But look at that, Team Fluxo and Team Apex Gaming. I think they're going to start it hot on that floor gold course.
Sahil Jad is the closest, and there it is. Bullets being rattled. Minuzi, but also a scar on hand. Dash from Butson. But Sahil dodges that. Blue are being used, but I don't think he has enough resources for the very start. And Butson is quick on it. Gets the very first elimination of our match 2. I really like that you mentioned this match point. Everybody needs to understand it's no more about getting to the top of the charts. It's about reaching 90 points. And that's what EVOs want to do, but will be failed because of Cypher. AGL also missed their opportunity just because of how Buriram somehow held themselves because AGL they were about to shut down Buriram.
Yeah, I mean, the silent AGAL was there, almost getting into it. But now, with that sci-fi elimination, they're now ahead of Evo's Hunt. We'll have to see, though, because we still have Ray and Rasia in play.
Held themselves because AGL looked like they were about to shut down Buriram.
I mean, silent AGAL was there, almost getting into it. But now, with that sci-fi elimination, they're now ahead of Evo's Hunt. We'll have to see, though, because we still have Ray and Rasia in play. With Pecker coming from Ray. This could be a game changer if in case Do moves up that hill. But knowing Do and knowing the potential of any other sniper in this competition, he will not be going there.
It's gonna be very interesting because we've seen so many resets coming through from EVOS this early. I would say around disadvantages have been, I would say, saved so many times from these teams. Regardless, as we look through the area right now, no one's really too actively going for fights. But the southern side, though, very interesting to me.
While we were discussing about how the southern side would be where teams will be fighting out, Buriram again find one more on EVOS. It seems like Buriram is looking unstoppable. They do not want to stop, but so does even Tag. That might have been lost, but now an opportunity for Shoto. Mahal spotted, but damage is the only thing that was a no-knock, and good for Shoto is the entire RRQ is still not here, so Tag is rallying towards this fight.
And from what I'm seeing, we have 3 teams on the southern island of Purgatory. And Fire Brigade might need those fire trucks later on because RRQ then managed to start it off, but a lightning zone just to make sure that they have limited advantage when they try to go in for a rush on Central. And they are targeting Team Apex Gaming. But Team Apex Gaming knows what they need to be done. Lightning zone is here. Just hide out on those rooftops.
And most importantly as well, we also seeing the rotations coming in from the Falcons. And meanwhile, over on this side, Lost currently wanting to catch up in the points that they had missed out earlier. Now Rahone on one side here, tagged onto EVOS players, but Abax from downtown managing to steal steal the point away. But they're not done quite yet. Being so aware of the positioning where Yago is and the rest, AGL also close by.
Very difficult for MRBR loss. They were not only fighting with one team, but AGL, look at Cypher. This might be a distraction because his teammates are close by. But defending a 1v1 is going to be difficult with Yago lost. MRBR lost. They already went out with 0 points in the previous game, and now if they do it, it's going to be even more tougher.
You might be right with the Cypher being the bait. And there goes the push! The first time ever in EWC, we see that knock up with that vehicle. And they only have one left out of MIBR lost. But nothing is lost right now. A full revive has happened.
Yeah. And now they go again, this time against EVOS. AimGod takes a bit of damage here. Barros bought a bit of time. And throughout all that, AMAX has already been stolen away into the lobby. AimGod tries to go for the reset. Valiant dashes away to safety for the time being. EVOS stuck, rushes forward. HP so very low by AimGod. But now for Ray, gonna be swarmed by all the members of AGAL, not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important. Electrotherapy protecting them for far so long. That is the reason EVOS couldn't fight back. They had only 2 members and them getting taken down. Thankfully, that's not a full elimination, but there was an elimination that happened. That is Team Apex Gaming and Falcons. Seems like game number 2 is their comeback.
LSU, they can come back right now. They are just going in the edge of a circle, still hanging on that south side, and they thought they might be able to find someone on Central, but they were a little bit too late to party right now. But from what we're seeing, they are gathering all the loot that they have, and they're just going for the basic gameplay. Silent in the beginning, and then deadly towards mid to end. But the only question though is how are they going to find their way into the next phase of the circle? We still have a few moments before it closes in and the second phase shows up, but the battle between AGAL and EVOS is not yet done.
EVOS, what is happening? Apex will be able to revive, but look at AGL Cypher. Right to the face with the M590 Valiant Dash. And now another conversion. 9 elimination. AGL, what they missed out because of Buriram in the previous game, they want to make it happen. 30 points, what Buriram pulled off. AGL want to do it. This is what we've been talking. Buriram have earned titles. They are our World Series global champions of 25. Now they want an EWC championship in their name. Falcons, they want to get back to their winning ways that they had in 24. They want another EWC title for themselves. And 6 total eliminations.
In this situation as well, the lull, the silence is here, but the middle side of the map is very interesting as Fluxo does manage to hunt down the members of RRQ somewhere there. We see Troll also falling, EVOS as well suffering heavy damage. This map, what looks quiet on this side, is hectic on the rest of the areas.
LSU because we are looking at Lost right now, who might be chilling like a villain at this moment, but we are seeing a few players, not only from Team Falcons from the south, but also RQ from the north. So the pinch might happen right now. But again, we are just waiting for the shift of that next phase. And as you see it, both of the 3 of the teams are in there right now. And look at the numbers.
Almost looked like they would survive. Did not still, but now this is game 2. Burger 3, a lot to change, and that's what Falcons also want to. MIBR lost. They want to change their fate from getting out of 0 points to at least something, but it so far doesn't seem to be the case. Even SAQL, they want their points, but Mahal 77 says that is going to be an elimination, and right at the riverbank will sweep away SAQL's chances once again.
Well, Mal, the deadly sniper from Indonesia, right now going solo. Rest squad still not found in this map, but I know there is a plan. They are the mastermind into the stealth mode with that. The stealth bites using that more skill. They might be heading in to where this engagement is happening between Loud and MIBR Lost.
General taking a lot of damage right now. Bare Life managing to just survive. The pressure coming in from Loud, this high ground, gives them so much value. But Joker, on the other side, they're managing to pick off here, but Loud hasn't been moved quite yet. The lightning zone does come through. General falls. And now Keroro, the Falcons, decide to join in as well. BZP still hasn't been picked up already. Keroro finding a nice angle to work with. Goes a bit wide. Finally getting that shot onto Nyx. But the Falcons as well are suffering heavy damage. Pina, Keroro fall. And right now, both teams are barely alive. What are they to do here? Because the RRQ gang has decided to join in.
Falcons Falcons had a second chance. They instantly went for the revive. So there is a lifeline for them. But Loud, they're trapped. Trap was the only savior. He used the M79 to bail it out, but he is certainly surviving at the bottom of the hill. And RRQ now charging in. They will get it on fire. That's an added elimination. But can he hold off? Can Falcons actually make a comeback? They're close by. If he holds off for the time being, then RRQ, they might get surrounded once again.
Now that's one thing that we can depend on Fire. He can go for the distraction while the rest of the team is setting up. There goes On Fire launch pad right now, but it was Limit who was been taken down by a different squad. AGAL has inserted a coin. He is now ready to be the next challenger in this battle. But from this moment, once the third phase is closing in, we expect the teams to slow down, but I guess they are chasing and hungry for those points.
You want to be able to keep up. Again, we started this match 1/3 of the way to match point. You don't want to allow a team to run away with that. We talked a little bit about B4X United having a quiet start, and this map in particular has been extra for them as well. However, positioning-wise, they look really good right now, taking their time, and it's just open areas in front of them. They don't really have to really fight their way into the zone.
Fighting is the only name of the game today. Everybody has to, because of the match point condition that they have to fulfill if they want to become the champions at the end of the day. Fluxo, not the best start that they have also had here in Purgatory. How do they get out of it? They go back towards the vending machine to recover their players first. A revival point is also close, but they have enough coins and they will get the player back up. 4 all strong together.
Now, so far for Fluxo, they do have 3 of those team boosters put up, and one of which would be the out-of-zone buff. So that's one reason why they can soak outside of that circle. But there's one thing that they need to worry about. The shift has already moved to Capside. We've seen AJ already holding on, taking high ground, and this is deadly, especially in this kind of situation. Same goes for Evos, and Rastia is just waiting for the opportunity. Might be able to pull out that launch pad, a little bit of exchange though, hands it over to Ray, just in case they need to pull out. They will be able to do it and fly away.
The situation here, the weight is on. I mean, both teams very, very comfortable in their little corners off that map. I'm just waiting for this initiation to happen now. Now, looking at everyone right now, the Lion, place for Fluxo and Lion later on the rotation would be interesting to see, but Abe pressuring the members onto the other side here. No one is truly comfortable, regardless of whether or not they are in the zone.
RQ is happy they got this spot. Falcons left it and the circle still keeps the position of the containers and they will keep it. AGL, however, they know about this position. Falcons, because they left this position and moved towards the vending machine, they also have an idea. So right now, RRQ have to be wary that they're enemies in the closest surroundings, and especially that they're out in the open, anybody could target them. But targeting, when we speak about it, Twisted Minds, they did that in Group B and took the top spot. And now what do they do to get those points?
Now let's see though, because they are very close against Team Falcons and also trapped from behind, and they get the next face's circle, so no one will be moving away from campsite. But for those who are surrounding as well as jumping in across that river, trouble is brewing. Grim United against Fluxo once again, and let's see though who's going to win. The lightning zone has been triggered, and no one is moving that much because they don't want to hit by that bolt maker. But from what we've seen from Fluxo, they are just holding their ground, not letting Grim United in. The gatekeep is on.
Yeah, the high ground here is good, but Wasada great to take away that space, and they are going to collapse. Great work from Fluxo to take away that space to keep the rest of B4X United at bay. MT7 just now almost getting knocked down here, but I'm loving the fact that they're so patient in keeping them away. Now, B4X United forced to reposition, but meanwhile for Lost, gonna take this fight head on against AGAL.
Am I with the Bison finds Barros. That is the opening, and they're all stuck inside the army. This is going to be difficult. Cypher also thought out, surrounding with the glue walls. General jumping across the board, and Rigby finds another that's nameless. And then the last to answer with that AGL will be put to rest, and MIB are lost. on the tights.
Oh, stuck in one trailer when they thought they will be able to go for a pickup, and with one blue wall, they do have the windows open. But speaking of windows open, window is opening for Team Falcons, especially with limit on those knives. And same goes for Twisted Mind. And who is the target? The one and only Wasana, who is just going solo right now. And that's one out of two remaining players. Make that one or none about one remaining players out of Rhythm United.
Yeah, cannot really move, but Moshi is still around. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to survive all the way till the end. As for Twisted Minds, they have all the idea in the world now to take out Trap, to be able to take away space from the Falcons. Now it's going already been knocked down there by Made in Brazil loss.
It might be a loss. They needed this opening, they needed this start, and now they're getting eliminations. But the next best team after AGL going out is going to be Twisted Minds with 10 eliminations. But RRQ, they instantly get put out. What was this by Fluxo? Butson, MT7, all of them together put RRQ out. And now Twisted Minds, they have another challenge with Falcons throwing the melters.
6 teams remaining, 4 full squad in this fight. Twisted Minds still holding on, gatekeeping Team Falcons not to get in. But on the other side, Moshi, the final player from BRU, will be taken down. Now the battle is not yet over. It is MIBR against Fluxo right now. But from what we see, it's just that aggressive F590 hand, and the rest of the squad is just waiting. They split up on a 2-2.
Fluxo, they need this chance. MIBR lost on the other end. Rigby, the man who was finding the openings, he's been taken down. EU is the one, but Blue Wall will protect. They will be able to bring the player back up, but there is MT7. He puts the player general down, and Fluxo are turning this against their own counterparts from the region. Confirmation on Rigby. Ravan and Yago, the last survivors. Gops is down. This is an opportunity. But Sen with a dash, instantly trying to put one player down. But he will get knocked with the max 7. Coming down to a 1v1, and it's MT7. He finds and ends MIBR loss.
And now the collapse happens. They have to shift forward here. Twisted Minds coming through. Loud will be annihilated. And somehow throughout it all, Twisted Minds' patience will be rewarded with a booyah.
Patience truly is a virtue. No, they didn't really.
The threshold to win EWC in Riyadh. And right now, they are a third of the way there. They are more than 30 points towards the threshold of 90. I think a couple more good rounds, give it 2 or 3. BRU, they are going to be in a prime position to take it all back.
And it looks like we are ready for our game already. At Shrines, do we get a hot drop? Because we know EVOS as well as MIBR loss usually do drop by here. But thankfully, they will choose the foundation instead. The MIBR loss will not be disturbed for the time being. But they cannot take that for granted because a potential rotation from EVOS as they like sticking towards the outer regions of this map before hopping on towards Refinery. And Refinery, on the other hand, is conquered as usual by the kings of Refinery themselves, RRQ.
My attention is going to be on MT60 that is now brought in by MIBR Law, so General not going to be playing this game. The second thing is also the rotation of BRU. We know that they love to go to command post. The command post is now preoccupied by Lion instead. BRU up against TAG once more.
Will the Indian squad wake up here in game number 3? At Kalahari, it's usually the Thai teams that have found dominance thus far here at Free Fire and EWC 26. Get high down, Wasana down, and it looks like India just needed Mustacho back on the desk. The Team Apex Gaming absolutely shut down their plays, leaving one final survivor. Can they hunt down the final one? Moshi, the super sniper of Thailand, scurrying away as quickly as possible. No more on his side, no stun fights. And Team Apex Gaming just need one more, and they get it. And the 3-time world champs out of Kalahari, all thanks to them.
There was Sana with his hands on his head because that was an absolute disaster for BRU. RRQ come to life, they find EVOS at Foundation, but EVOS should be out of this. They have 2 more members left. The UAV does ping out Ray. He does have the hook gun in his face, but not much cover to work with. So this should be the 3rd confirmation for the Kings of Kings. But at least, unlike BRU, EVOS, they have a 2nd win in this game.
A little bit of a civil war here between RRQ and EVOS.
But the team Apex Gaming, who were literally at the very bottom of the leaderboard when we started, can they continue to rise up to the top? They have no idea who they took down, so they don't know if it's going to be a huge confidence boost for them. But as long as they can maintain this momentum after winning out the initial fight, Loud up against Falcons on the other hand, mixed with the backstab.
And you've got Waka from the front with a VSK. They got that done absolutely well, and now they're going in for the chase. Karoro's going to be stuck all alone here. Icewave's not going to find the tag on him just yet, but Brab cutting down the distance here. Mang 7 in hand. Karoro's about to be popped, and he puts him down on the ground. Beautiful play so far from the Brazilian squad.
No way out of that for Karoro. Trap did say during the interview with Caro that they are feeling really good after the first booyah. And they have been local champions multiple times. And one of the things that is missing is the EWC trophy and the World Series finale. At least for now, RRQ also a team that only finishes second. They're definitely looking to break that curse here on Paris stage. A bite on the corner, that's going to be joked down RRQ with their 6th point.
Yeah, easy takedown there. Lion left their player all alone outside just for a little bit of a distraction. And this was that replay, a phenomenal performance from Shoto. And he just shut down the hopes of Buriram in the second game after, once again, a fiery start for your 3-time world championship. Never got in the first spot here at the Esports World Cup. You're taken out of the lobby prematurely. EVOS on the other hand, Lion after Lion, they'll hunt down. We just saw RRQ find one earlier. Either way, Lion's not doing too well. Yakos can't see the shots from the back. Man does not have the Morse at this point of time. They're going to be regretting bringing that Skylar in. But it is what it is. Achu on the other hand, bumping into yet another Brazilian squad out there. Yago is center of health. The name is AGAL from afar. Cutting down the distance, slowly catching up with them. And perhaps this third party can allow SHUL to pull in a couple of revives.
Let's see if Bunny can make that rescue mission happen. MT7 can get pushed right now by with the pieces in place, getting knocked down from afar is Bob delivering on the platter. Twisted Minds stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, you sit on my shoulder, buddy. I'll pick you right up. Diamond brought right back in here by the Bass, and Bob's caught out. Diamond, beautiful play off the top of the 10. M24 in hand, but Exposi looking for the vending machine, and Butch is in. Will be able to take him away. The guard of the vending machine failed on his mission, and Twisted Minds don't get to take the squad out of the equation just yet.
A big clutch there from Butcherson. But earlier on, when we saw BRU get wiped out, it freed up command post, so Team Apex Gaming now have full control of the southern side of the map. Lion trying to spot, even EVOS catches up to RRQ. Again, the rematch. The young gun of RRQ is the one that gets the drop, but EVOS prevails, and they lock in their 5th point. Now around the corner is going to be a troll that is isolated. Ray finds that finisher.
Yeah, you got roll, the one and only EVOS, 6 eliminations in hand already. Unfortunate for SHUL, they were all spread out on the battlefield. MIBR lost on the other hand, bumping into Falcons yet again. This one just does not end. MT second down on the ground. Round A7 on a high ground here, has got the Winchester in hand. Pina in shooting distance, in the crosshairs of Raone, but he does not get the job done. He has to be pushed off here. Is on fire, catches up with him, and from up top, the SVD straight to the head. Raone was looking for the vending machine, but prevented. And Yago's going to turn tails here, trying to get out of there as quickly as possible. But the hit list has been bought. And MIBR with their final player, although they have the stealth fights, they're not going to be able to get away from this Falcons. They know exactly where he is. And this is going to be the end for MIBR here this morning.
They retired him just to confirm the elimination. Yago can hide all he wants. There's no escaping the talents of the Falcons. MIBR was removed in 9th place. And that was
Falcons put it up AGAL. All of them have one booyah each on this Kalahari map. They put it out of the equation already. Perhaps Falcons and AGAL will be the biggest threats later. So on the other hand, they've got a booyah for themselves on this Kalahari map as well in their run here at EWC 26. But 90, and that starts off a big one, and that's a massive advantage because that's the player that had the M79 on the side of the Brazilian squad. Cypher traded out, deal with the shot from afar with the M82B, and they dismantle Loud with that play.
perfect execution from AGAL. I think it was a bit of a miscom there from Loud, who tried to run down the stairs. The trap absolutely caught out. Not really sure what the plan was, but Cypher with the great execution on the batting dash sealed the deal there.
I think the play there was supposed to be the M79 to be sent down to the lower ground, and then of course there's grenades to take out the players from the front line. But unfortunately, before he could get into position, he just got shot out of this spot with the M590. Beautiful play out of Cypher there at the moment. But now Twisted Minds up against EVOS. Both these teams know each other very well from the Southeast Asian region, and it is EVOS right now leading with the eliminations as well as the utilities. Twisted Minds not too far behind them. If you look at the long reposition, it's probably I think it's Exposi trying to get into spot to see if he can flank around. AGAL watching this battle from afar as well. If you finds aim god, this is going to be deadly.
You see the same for if Russia gets not really comfortable staying out in the open at Foundation. They need to find some cover here. But with Evo's pushing in, they got to pick a poison.
Yeah, you got to pick a poison, man. Either way, I think there's a fair chance you do not find the antidote for either one of them. More stealth fights used by Russia. He gets a easy flank around the left-hand side to find the circle best before the rest of his brothers. And the rest of the frontliners on the side of EVOS will be holding Twisted Minds back. And Russia, right after he gets into spawn, gets shot in the back by the player from the side of Fluxo. Most probably MT7. EVOS falls for the Boltmaker. Lightning zone now. Twisted Minds cannot step out into the open. Ace with one misplay. That does not manage to get the first knockdown in the back in dash. Almost saving him. But it was the A1 to boss will of battle that gave them the death. The bravery to step into the battle. But Twisted Minds turning the situation around for themselves.
Yeah, and Russia needs to build a team up right now. Oh, the grenade and the snipe Russia going above and beyond and putting EVOS on his back.
One more.
Exposing the Bass remainders of Twisted Minds.
One
Russia
more.
again, the wonder kid with the delivery system. Can he complete the cycle here as the Bass desperately bringing his teammates back with the revive? But Russia has done more than enough. It's his turn to maybe get his teammates back into the game. The Bass over the blue wall. The Bass comes out on top.
Oh, that's beautiful. Gets the insurance policy first on the revive, bringing Diamond back into play, and then going for the shutdown. But their chances of surviving this lobby and getting a booyah is absolutely slim. The Bass is going to probably get taken out of the equation here, outside the circle, tanking a lot of damage. Apex, on the other hand, right beside SHUL, who have had a full squad recovery, looking for the next zone. Can he stay a ninja? Nah, they've spotted him already, and Apex is going to get tagged up. Probably this is the end for EVOS here.
Yeah, it's either them or it's either SAUL, AJL that takes that away. Just a free point sitting out in the open. If you are the Indian team, you definitely would want that point as you are sitting at the bottom. As we lose Twisted Minds on screen 2, Apex is just trying to... I mean, he did gain an extra placement point for himself before Dew finally collects that. So we are going to go down to just 6 more teams.
AGAL as well as Fluxo, the only two other teams that have managed to secure a booyah on Kalahari from the ZWC stage. Can they take it all the way? Lion has been fairly quiet after a few mishaps at the very start. Haven't secured a single elimination for themselves. Fluxo, on the other hand, tanking a lot of damage outside the circle. Spots out as tagged up by Faros. AGL like shooting fish in a barrel. And Fluxo wants to steal that away. MT7 knocks down Troll. He makes sure he gets the confirmation as well. AGL getting those shots in, making sure they scare the players on the side of Fluxo back. And they're trying to keep Buddy Pinson in.
Yeah, this is a good game for Fluxo and AJL to pull ahead of the curve because some of the Apex players are already out.
One more.
Cypher, can he get the snipe in? It's Dew again, of course. Never doubt this guy. Bunny is also pinned down behind that glue wall, and it's only a matter of time before AJL finds him. Lion now will join that fight, and maybe that's the distraction that will bail Fluxo out of the situation as they fight against TAG.
Yeah, brilliant recovery by Fluxo here. Instantly jumping out of that monster truck, getting the pick up with the glue walls, and they take Bunny out of the equation as well. Unfortunately, the circle actually claimed that point off of them. As SHUL Esports makes the exit from the lobby, we now have the top 3. And 2 out of the 3 teams are definitely geared up for the booyah here. Falcons, just the one team that strayed on in. Can they make it out of here? I totally forgot that they were still alive and kicking. All 3 of these teams have already performed at Kalahari, and they're looking to pull off their second booyah. Which one will be able to secure that for themselves? Cypher bringing the whole squad of AGL together with him, backing him up as he cuts the distance down between their squad as well as Fluxo. But they realize right under the bridge, Fluxo will be dangerous. And they take a quick U-turn, but they'll have to deal with Falcons here. And they're going to hope and pray that it is Fluxo that finds Falcons first. Jump pad getting them in, but that's a bad move. First one gets snuffed out of the air. Pina with a double. On fire finds Nameless. And AGAL losing 2 too early.
This is good for Fluxo. Carollo made his rotation too late and went down to the blue. Pina did take down Dew, but now Fluxo completely freed out and might get an advantageous fight against Falcons. Pina needs some help, but the blue zone is pushing them straight into the heat of Fluxo, who are coming at them with full force. Dew exposed and limit with the first one to even the odds out. Fluxo forward, pushes in with the dash in. Pina covering himself and pushes in. Now needs assistance. Gets knocked down, finds the trade again. His limit trying to hold Falcons together, but he falls in the hands of MT7. Pina brought back up, pops in front of him, on fire, providing help. Falcons side by side. As Fluxo looks to turn the corner, the pre-fire comes through. Peanut rushes in. MT7 holds his own. MT7 delivers on fire with the trade. Can Bob steal it? The captain of Fluxo can do it. On fire. It's on fire. And Falcons get their booyah.
Yes, second.